Hey everybody, it's UltraChunky64. So, a couple years ago, I came across a YouTuber called Metal Jesus Rocks, and he has a video series called Hidden Gems, which he takes games from various systems that did not, whether they didn't receive a lot of sales or just a lot of love, he covers these games that you may not have heard about before. And honestly, I think it's one of the best ideas for a video series I've ever seen on YouTube as far as gaming channels. The idea of finding a new game that didn't get the kind of love it deserved at the time it was released, but now you have the chance to go and discover this game for yourself. But in his videos, he goes through a lot of games per video. Like he might cover 7 or 8 hidden gems in a video, so he goes through each game pretty quickly. So I like the idea of covering hidden gems, but I wanted to go more in depth with a particular game than he would. So each video in my series, the series is going to be called Hidden Gems Game, by the way. I'm only covering one game per video. So I'm going to go in depth with a game that I consider to be a hidden gem in each video. And I'm really excited for this. The very first game I'm going to do is called Towerfall Ascension, and let's get to it. Here is the menu of Towerfall. You have Versus Mode, Co-op, Trials, Archives, Options, and Credits. Versus is probably the single most important mode in this game, the most fun. We're going to go more in depth with that mode, along with Co-op and Trials. But first, I'm going to show you the Options menu. You can adjust things like the music, the sounds, the rumble, and various screen effects. Nothing too fancy. Next, I'm going to show you Archives. It lets you see the stats of the game and various things that might be interested in seeing. As you can see, I don't really have much stats in this game. I already have the game on Steam and PS4. Next up is the Trials mode. Before you start the mode, you select your character. There's about 9-10 different characters you can play as. I'm just going to play as this girl right here. So there are various stages you can select. I'm just going to do the very first stage just to show you what the mode is like. And there's the controls. This is Switch version, by the way. So in this mode, you have these mannequins that you shoot with arrows. And I'm sorry about my play here. It's been a while since I played this game. And you have to get into kind of a groove controls-wise with this game. Oh, and then that's another way you can also take enemies out is by jumping on their heads, which you've seen there. Yeah, 20 seconds is not good at all. That gold medal, you need to beat it in like 7.5 seconds, so you have to do a lot better than what I did there. But this is really just to show you what this mode is like. Once you get into the groove and everything, you'll get way faster times, and then you eventually want to keep improving your times. It's fun. But yeah, every level is like this, where you're just doing the same objective. Stages get a little bit harder, but you're still doing the same thing each time. Alright, so next we're going to go into the co-op, and there's 2 modes in the co-op. There's the Dark World, and then there's Quest. In Dark World you can do 4 players, and in Quest you can do 2. Yeah, as you notice, there is things you can unlock as far as levels in these modes. In this one mode, you are just trying to clear the screen of all enemies that pop up, and lots of enemies do pop up across the screen. You have to play cautiously. Like I was being reckless there, and I got hit. You have to really watch where you're stepping. Yep, right there, and I died again. But when you clear all the enemies off the screen, you move on to the next level. Each stage has multiple levels for you to beat. This is just the normal mode, but in the higher difficulties, it's even more enemies, and it's even more difficult to win, obviously. Alright, next I'm going to show you the quest mode. As you can see, most of the stages are locked from the get-go. Then you have to unlock them by beating the ones that you don't have locked already. It's split into 5 segments per stage. You see those ghosts and how they can dodge arrows. Those things are the absolute worst enemy to deal with. It's like, I can never hit them with the dang arrow. I always gotta kill them by jumping on their head. And you just notice that I cut to the 5th segment. I want to skip ahead and show you the very end. Because you face another archer, and it's an absolute pain. You notice is that when he took me out, it had a homing type properties to the missile. He automatically gets better missiles than me. Like, that's a fair matchup, isn't it? But as you can see, he's absolutely just rocking me right now. Look at that. I had the last laugh. What happened there is that when you die, you spawn back and you have like an explosive shield around you, and if they're in that proximity, they die. Alright, I have one more thing to show you. I saved the best thing for last. This is where the meat of the game is, in my opinion, where you have the most fun, is the versus mode. There's standard and 6-player. Standard lets you play against to 3 other people locally, and 6-player is a Switch exclusive version that lets you obviously play with 6 people total. The stages are bigger than the Switch version, but I don't have 6 players to show you, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to do the standard. I'm going to show you all the game modes that I can, but first I feel it's important to show you the variants and all the different things you can do here. You can customize how the game is going to play out. You can set preferences of like a setup you like. You can save it and use it for future matches. You can choose to turn off auto balance. Like if one player is dominating, the other player will be assisted in ways that can help them, like they might get a shield at the start of the match, or they might get better arrows. You can turn that off. You can choose what kind of arrows shoot off. There's a lot of fun ones that you can use. Like the bramble arrows, when you shoot it into the environment, it makes vines that if you touch them, you die. You can set curses. You can change what happens with the arena, the things that go on in it. You can choose what kind of power-ups you want. There is so many ways you can customize the game in this mode. Alright, I'm just going to set randomize for the match. And I'm going to do last man standing. The first to 5 wins wins the series. The ground stage. There's not really much differences between the game modes in the versus mode. Headhunters, I couldn't find any difference between that and last man standing. And team battle obviously is self-explanatory. So I would just pick last man standing. I'm not going to talk as much here in this part. I'll kind of let you see the gameplay of 2 people playing against each other. I'm playing against my sister. She's new to the game, but this game, part of the appeal of it, it's really welcoming to experts and casual newbies alike. Anybody has a chance to win. And if you notice, all those treasure chests, when you go over them, they give you, like sometimes they'll give you power-ups, sometimes they'll give you arrows. It's random what it gives you. It was important to make sure you get there before your opponents, or you'll be at a disadvantage. And if you didn't notice, we both have shields on, and when you have a shield on, you get an extra hit. So when you have a shield on, it takes you 2 hits to die. Otherwise, typically it just takes 1. If you take too long in a match, the sides will come closing in, and if you touch them, you'll die. And that's what happened in that particular round. And auto balance I think is on because if you noticed, my arrows were missing. But whoa, you see that? Let's see the replay again. What the heck happened there? It's like an explosion was what the cause of death was. I do like the idea of auto balance though, because you know, like I said before, not everybody has the same skill level, and with auto balance, it helps close the gap, make it evenly matched. You definitely got to be careful with those exploding arrows. They have a big blast radius, so you're for sure going to get hit if you're hit by one when it goes off. Oh, that was beautiful. With all the customization you can do for a match, how you can set up to your liking, this game gives me Smash Brother vibes. Like, it's not a fighting game, but in kind of the way you can customize the game and kind of the frantic craziness of the matches, it does give you a Smash Brothers vibe. And really, this reminds me of one of the things I do wish this game had that Smash Bros. Does, but this game doesn't, is online multiplayer. There is absolutely no online multiplayer in this game, and it's something that could have really been beneficial to this game. The creator of the game said that he didn't want to put it in because lag would ruin the experience, but honestly, I'd rather take the chance and have it anyways. Like, Smash Brothers, it needs precision inputs and sometimes lags can ruin matches, but I still don't want that feature taken out, you know? But still, local multiplayer is a ton of fun in this game. It is online multiplayer would have been a nice addition to the game as well. Well, there you go. That was the final round of the match. That was actually really close. I just barely beat her. I was actually surprised how well she played. At the end, it tells you the stats and the kind of rewards you get. Towerfall is available to download on all the modern systems. So it is $20 on the Switch, $15 on Steam, $15 on Xbox One, and $15 on PS4. But the Switch version has the advantage of having all the DLC included, and the other versions do not. I think the Switch version is the definitive version. The portable play also is a real nice bonus in the Switch version, which none of the other versions have. But regardless of what system preference you have, I think this is a must-own game, and I feel like it should be in everybody's collection of if you like to play multiplayer games. Well, this was my first entry in my Hidden Gems series. I will definitely have more in the future. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, everybody.